Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our November 18th meeting. I'm calling this meeting to order. Before we begin, please silence your cell phone so as not to impede our flow of business. Somebody always forgets, so just go ahead and double check it right now. We always begin our meeting with a moment of silence, and so if you would like to join us with that, you may do so now. Thank you. And now, if you're able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Escobar, announcements.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. We have a couple of announcements for tonight. There will be a construction road closure on Rosewood Meadows Lane and the Greenway Crossing entrance lasting 1 week, which started on Monday. Public Works crews will be making Greenway and stormwater enhancements to make it a safer crossing. The Greenway is accessible. Drivers will need to drive around the work following the posted detour signs. And then also Centralina is seeking a regional nonprofit partner to help preserve homes in North Mecklenburg. Centralina has shared an RFP seeking a nonprofit that is interested in supporting affordable housing and home repairs for residents in our region. To view the RFP, learn more details, and apply, visit huntersville.org.
All right, you may have noticed we have a team in here this evening, and I'm so excited to give recognition to our Lake Norman Little League for their very first state champions win. So let's give them a round of applause. I know, because I see some familiar faces in this crowd of boys that I have taught them, that I know that they worked hard and that they were passionate about their teammates and the work they had to do to get to their championship. And so I hope that you will continue on with that in your life as someone who is dedicated and passionate about something and showing the very best that you can be and being an example for our community that you have set. And I would love to have our coaches come up and say something if you want. And then we'll get a picture together.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
First off, thank you, Mayor Clark, town commissioners, board members. Thank you for having us, and to recognize these 14, I know there's only 11 here today, 3 are missing, but these 14 individuals who worked so hard all summer long to try to accomplish the one goal that they had coming into this all-star season. Joan Arrington, what was it? What was your goal? There's a reason I called on you, buddy. Do you remember your goal? Do you remember your goal? Does anyone else remember his goal? Easton. No, I don't think so. Yes, play on ESPN. So Jonah Arrington, his wish came true. So this was, for those of you who don't know, this is the 15th year of Lake Norman Little League. This is the first time we have, as a 12-year-old league, have won a state championship. And to let you know, this is the first in 13 years that a Charlotte area District 3, which we represent, has won the state championship and represented in Warner Robins, Georgia. So we had an awesome season. Their coach continuously every year in districts messes it up and loses a game. And the kids every time come back, and every time they have elimination games. I think if I was right, 4 years, 17 straight elimination wins. So this is the actual second state championship for this age group. They won the 10U 2 years ago. and they lost a year ago in the state championship. So they worked tirelessly all year long. If you don't, this starts early June, and it ended early August. And for better part of every single day, these kids worked really hard in, some heat, some rain, some lightning, some delays, right? At the end of the day, they came through. I would say out of the 14, 11 of them, they say, hey, this is your last year. I thank all of you for sticking with Lake Norman. Now I'm going to cry again. But I appreciate all your hard work for all these years, and I know there's better things to come in the future. A lot of you have already started on the big field, so you got... Jonah, can you keep that out of your mouth? Lastly, to the parents, this has been, I understand this is a long summer. This takes up, for a lot of you, I know, Sawyer, I think this took up almost your whole summer, right? I think you went back to school, as we got back from regionals. So this is a long season to sacrifice a lot for these kids, for the boys, your siblings, right? And for kids, I know the Jacksons, I want to call out the Jacksons, for example. They are, I want to say, the first brothers ever to win a state championship in the same season. Brother Sterling, why don't you stand up back there, buddy? Sterling was a member of the 9U state championship this year. And I know these kids will always have this memory. They'll be for as long as when they get older, they have something to tell their kids, their grandkids. Moving on, they're the first ones, which is an awesome thing to have, right? But I hope you're not the last. I hope Lake Norman has many, many more. Hope Sterling, your group, 3 years from now, can stand up here with your group and do the same thing. That's really all I have to say. So again, thank you. Wait, can I call? Wait, real quick. Can I call out each boy's name? I'm going to call out every kid. So we'll start here. Joan Arrington. Number 7, Mason Shepard. Number 12, Braden Best. Number 20, Cameron Malone. I would like to say one quick thing. Cameron Malone, for all of you who don't know, Cameron Malone won the Eastern Region Home Run Derby and he was the first Lake Norman Little League player ever to represent our Little League in Williamsport in the Home Run Derby contest and finished runner-up. So, congratulations. Number 11, Sawyer Jackson. What was it? He knew. What was your number, Lucas? Sorry. 10? 10. Lucas Gadetti. 23, Cole McCarthy. Number 13, Easton Foley. Number 99, Sean Steffen. Ham, what was your number? What was your number, Ham? 44. 44, Abraham Niblett. And number 16, Jack Caldwell. And missing today are Caleb Guzman, Carson Colvin, and Reed Griffin.
All right, Ward.
You want us up here or get the mayor in there? Some in the front.
All right, that was pretty great. Now, we have one public comment this evening, Gatewood Campbell. And we have Johnny Campbell giving time. Okay, so you have 6 minutes.
Gatewood Campbell. On October 21st, I stood before you and begged you all to do the right thing. In the same way your party has asked the President of the United States to release the Epstein files, we have asked you to do the fair, honest, and ethical thing. I begged you not to wait until after the election, but you did exactly what I and so many of us thought you would do. You waited for the election to be over and before the results were even certified. Parts of the FOIA were released. I was disappointed in you in ways I have never been before, and you regularly disappoint me. I would guess you tell your children to always do the right thing. You didn't. A very partial release of selected emails and screenshots has proven you do not represent the people you took an oath to serve. Mayor Clark has directly told commissioners not to respond to me in writing because I will share. I will not apologize for sharing. And for the record, a simple thank you for an email is not an answer to a question. I prefer to communicate in writing because I have a mild traumatic brain injury, which causes slow processing. Bet you didn't know that I'm a protected class. Mayor Clark directed this board not to communicate with me in the way that I best understand. If I am writing you and not calling you, it's likely there is a reason. Do I share your responses? Unapologetically, yes. Not every citizen is brave enough to ask questions. I am, and I am proud to say I will always share information that helps someone else understand why you do or don't do what you do. Where are the rest of the texts and emails? Why have only 2 of you chosen to turn them over? And why don't they match up? Riddle me that. Commissioner Quarles frequently reminds us that it is his belief that this is the most transparent board ever. And yet he has yet to release his own communications. If we haven't been afforded the honest step of turning them over, we are left to assume something is amiss. Commissioner Quarles also prides himself and his fellow board members on civility. Now we know this recognition for civility is only because 75% of you attended a 2-hour workshop, a workshop you found boring and felt you should all be teaching instead. According to threats made at the polls by one of you regarding civility, I am going to suggest that none of you up here should teach that class. You owe many citizens, including me, an apology. Among the screenshots, we have seen you frequently discuss citizens and your desire not to engage with them. You took an oath on the Bible 2 years ago to represent all of us. You have not done that. You are not currently doing it, and unfortunately, you probably won't for another 2 years. What you have done is wrong. You have been a poor example and one that we cannot hold in high regard. It is embarrassing to live here thanks to the 7 of you, and I'm sorry that you chose to talk while I was talking. Thank you.
And now we'll go on to agenda changes, adoption of the agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I would like to make a motion that we adopt tonight's agenda.
Is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor? Or any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Oh, we having a change. Yes. Yep. Who's making the agenda motion change? Moving that in from consent.
So we, as you may recall, had a resolution that needed to be updated, and so we wanted to make sure that the most current version of that resolution was shared for the public to view it. So that item needed to be moved down to other business.
Item 8C needs to be moved to item 10E.
8C, correct.
Yep. So can we amend the motion to?
Yeah,
So we just need to make a motion to move that item.
other business.
Down
Yep, to other business, yep.
I make the motion to move item 8C from the consent agenda to add it to other business.
Item number 10E.
Item 10E.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. And now may I have a motion to adopt the amended agenda?
I would like to make a motion that we adopt the amended agenda for tonight's meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. We're on to item 9A, conduct a public hearing on petition TA 25.
Consent agenda?
Oh, sorry, skipped right over it. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
I make the motion to adopt the consent agenda.
And is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? And the motion carries unanimously. Now we're on to item number 9A, conduct a public hearing on petition TA 25-01, a request by R. Todd Hirschfield.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Commissioners. This is Text Amendment 2510, which is amending Articles 3.2.3 and 9.18 of the zoning ordinance, and it is regarding helistops on private property. The applicant is Todd Hirschfield. He is here tonight to make his own presentation. So currently, Article 9.18 allows helistops as an accessory use in the campus, institutional, corporate business, and special purpose districts. The proposed text amendment would allow helistops as a use permitted with conditions in the GR zoning district and add related conditions. So the proposed conditions by the applicant are: the helistop shall be for personal private use only and shall not be open to the public for commercial purposes. Landings and takeoffs shall only occur during daylight hours. No fueling, maintenance, or repairs shall occur on the property, and all operations must comply with the FAA regulations and any applicable local safety standards. This is the ordinance showing where the changes would be made. So in the process of researching this and coming up with our presentation, staff did research how other municipalities in the region handle helistops. And in the region, only one allowed them in conjunction with some sort of a residential use, and that was the city of Charlotte. So the city of Charlotte allows them in the neighborhood one place type. And it's very confusing, but it's a group of zoning districts, essentially, and the neighborhood one place type is primarily residential. It allows a multitude of residential uses, so single-family, duplexes, townhomes, multifamily, all the above, with some limited commercial that services those residential uses. So it's more of a mixed-use designation than residential. But the one requirement that they have is that a helistop must be at least 400 feet from a lot line. The vast majority of the other municipalities that we looked at allowed them as an accessory for a medical, government, or commercial use, which is how our ordinance currently allows it. So staff does have some concerns regarding this text amendment. The first being potential nuisance to the next door neighbors or to residences, the noise and the wind that could be made from a helicopter, the potential tree clearing that would be needed for a safe flight path. We do have a designation on protecting trees. And then just the lack of precedent. It is clearly very rare for helistops to be permitted in single-family residential uses and local zoning ordinances, so this would kind of make us the first. And then on top of that, the 2040 community plan, there is a recommendation, land use 11.1, which directs us to protect and enhance the unique character of Huntersville's neighborhoods by using planning tools to safeguard from potentially negative impacts of development and redevelopment. So because of that, staff does not believe that this text amendment aligns with the 2040 plan. In summation, due to all the aforementioned concerns, staff does recommend denial of this text amendment. However, if the board would like to see this continue and like to allow helistops on residential properties, staff would recommend that it be permitted through a special use permit so that it could be considered on a case-by-case basis. So the planning board meeting to consider this is tomorrow, and then it will come back before you for final action on December 16th. Again, the applicant is here to speak as well.
You have a question? Yep. Commissioner Walsh?
So in the case of this particular one,
how far is this helipad or whatever it is from the lot line or the closest house?
So the applicant could speak to that. I believe we measured it, and it was in the like 20, 30-something feet, but Mr. Hirschfeld can speak to that.
Thanks.
Any other questions for staff? Commissioner Bergsman?
Yeah, just one. So in the conditions, the second one about landings and takeoffs shall only occur during daylight hours. I just want to make sure I'm clear, like I'm understanding that correctly. So like in the summer when sunrise is at 5:30 and sunset is close 8:30, 9 o'clock, that entire window would be included in that?
Correct. This is the verbiage that the applicant has proposed. The board has the right to amend.
Okay, thanks.
Would you like to hear from the applicant? Okay.
How do I use this thing? Just hit the forward? Okay. All right, good evening, Madam Mayor, Commissioners, town staff, and board. Thank you for letting me present to you tonight. Becca did outline that pretty well. So who am I and why am I here? I'm Todd Hirschfeld, originally from Virginia, former race car driver that ended up in here in North Carolina like a lot of other race car drivers. I own a sports marketing company just about 5 miles up the road on Bailey in Cornelius. I employ about 80 employees here locally. The house that we're talking about, the lot that we're talking about, my wife and I bought in 2011, and we have since built our home there. To answer your question, the lot size is an adjacent lot that I bought in 2013, and it's about a half acre. The actual size from lot line to lot line, I can get that, but it's a half acre, pretty much square. Way bigger than any of the other landing pads that are actually on the lake. I'm a fixed wing pilot since 2012. I was heavily involved after our home got affected by the hurricane in Banner Elk in 2024, which led me to be very intrigued by helicopters and add my helicopter license to my aviation career. And I am seeking, as Becca said, to have the ability to land a helicopter on my property, and yes, would request the flexibility to land during daylight hours as legally within the FARs. And I'm not looking to do any commercial use. I'm not looking to do fueling, maintenance, or anything like that, just for private use. As already stated, the helistop currently in the zoning says that is permitted as an accessory to campus districts and special purpose districts, provided it complies with all FAA regs and guidelines. This was the request that I tried to put together to request the small amendment, which is a helistop be permitted as an accessory use in the campus districts and special purpose districts, as may be considered as a conditional use in the general residential. Still requesting approval on a case-by-case as you would for myself. Very important slide here is that I am operating within all of the FAA regulations, and I have done my homework, and I am meeting all local and safety requirements as the FAA states being able to land a helicopter on private land. I'm not in an HOA, so that was taken into consideration. I own the land. It is considered private land, and I therefore have permission to land on private land as the FAA states. Helicopters may land safely on private property if no hazard to people or property, no careless or reckless operation. Pilot is fully responsible for safe operation and noise abatement and guidance for residential areas. I understand one of my neighbors has made this complaint. That's why we're here tonight, as they knew I was a helicopter pilot and had interest in landing on my own property. I take that seriously. I obviously wish they would have talked to me beforehand, but I get it. And I would rather go through this process with you guys tonight than after and have a big fight with one of my neighbors. But again, I'm asking for daylight operations, no fuel and maintenance, no commercial and limited request as the board sees fit, and most importantly, committed to the FAA compliance and noise abatement as the neighborhood, within my neighborhood. As you've probably seen if you've been on the lake, there's multiple helipads within our area. Mr. Hendrick is 2 miles from my house. Sid Morris is 1.8. There's another, Denny Hamlin's 1.3. And then the Atkins brothers are literally 5,000 feet from my house. Granted, they are in Cornelius. I understand that makes a difference. But, and I also understand that most of these guys are multimillionaires and even a billionaire, but I don't think that's a prerequisite. If it is, I'm not in there. But I also think this is an important slide that one of my neighbors sent to me and said that I should present this to you as the board. If you think about it, and I did today as I was going through my presentation, I was sitting on my back porch going through the slides, and one of my neighbors was blowing leaves with a leaf blower for at least an hour that I was out there. That noise for over an hour is actually a higher decibel than it would be for a helicopter taking off. And my normal departure helicopter time is about 1 minute and 30 seconds from when I crank until I depart, and it's much less when I'm landing. So the amount of time that I would have a continuous amount of noise and disturbance to my neighbors is far less than you see here as the FAA Advisory Circular 9136 states, when looked at other noises that would come from a household equipment, such as even children playing or construction tools. My neighbor made this statement and was very very helpful in sending that slide, and I think that does, especially after today listening to it. So I'll speed up here. What I'm asking in this amendment is a case-by-case town review. Require FAA and town compliance, permit limited private use, and keep community oversight. I'm not asking for automatic helicopter approvals. I'm not asking to override any neighborhood control. Again, I don't live in an HOA, and I'm not looking to do commercial operations or change the character of the neighborhood. I was advised that 3 of my neighbors, at least 3 of my neighbors, had written in letters of support. I don't know how to track that. They sent me copies of the letters, and 3 of the letters that I'm aware of are my absolute next door neighbors, and then one across from me as seen in this slide here. So in closing, I just respectfully ask that you take this into consideration, and that you realize that I'm asking for a personal use, limited use request, not a commercial operation. Again, I've done my due diligence with the FAA. This conditional use ensures safety, oversight, and accountability. It's responsible use on private property. This isn't a by right. And this proposal bridges both the FAA compliant operation within locally reviewed framework. And in closing, I would like to invite anybody on this panel on a flight around the lake so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, the exact noise, the exact helicopter that I'm operating. I would be happy to fly you around so you can see exactly what my neighbors would also be seeing live in person. And a lot of my neighbors have already asked me to take them for rides and their kids and everything, which is fun. So I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any questions for the applicant? Actually, I have a question for staff. I'll let you go next. My question for staff is, I did note that there are other municipalities on the lake that have residents that have helipads. How do they manage them, or what's the ordinances associated with other towns?
Cornelius does not address helistops in their zoning ordinance.
Neither is
I can probably speak on Cornelius, because I was there for a long time. Ultimately, most of theirs, and Todd may know this, but most of those on docks. So on docks, the way they did it is ultimately, if Duke allowed it, then it was out of sight, out of mind. So, and the peer permit process has changed over the years, but ultimately, if Duke allowed it and they met FAA standards, then that's how it worked in Cornelius. I think most of them are on docks. Marks and SIDS and a couple other ones are on docks.
Okay, and those are regulated by Duke Energy. For those of folks who don't know that, Duke has domain over the lake for all things dock related.
Yeah, as Mr. Roberts said, that's accurate. 2 of these in this image are not on docks. And these are just ones that I personally know. I know there's other folks that land helicopters outside, but these were within 2 miles of my house. But to respond, yes, Mr. Roberts is correct. Most of these are on a dock on Duke Power's, oversight. But 2 of them are on land.
Walsh.
I guess that was going to be my question, because in one of the pictures you show it out over the water. So you're talking about, so this is not what it's going to look like.
I wish. I don't have that budget.
Okay, gotcha. So,
That is, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's Sid Morris's in Cornelius. He lands on the helicopter and then has a kind of a robot, if you will, that actually brings the helicopter into his storage.
nice. So you're talking about like in a neighborhood, dropping in the middle of the neighborhood,
I'm at the end of a cove, and that I probably should have said that.
just trying to get a visual on.
Yep. My yellow star there is the very end of my cove. I have a very direct light of sign or landing path, which is not over anybody's house, and it would be directly to my lot there that the star is on. Very similar to Mr. Hendricks, very direct in through that cove that you see up there to land on, but no, not over anybody's personal property or homes or anything like that.
I gotcha. It'd be nice to see something a little closer up to better understand it. So you're gonna cut down some trees, I guess, to build a helipad or whatever?
Yeah, yes, sir. I have a half-acre lot there that I would plan to clear, put some kind of like sport. At best, if I could get my kids like a sport court, I would turn the sport court into a place that I could also land the helicopter. It would be larger than most helipads. Most helipads are 12 by 12. Sport court would be 25 by about 40. So it'd be much larger, much safer, with the room for error. But the helipads that you see that are starred in red, most of those are anywhere from 12 by 12 to 20 by 25.
Okay, and you're gonna get some measurements from lot lines?
I can do that, yes, sir.
Okay. How many neighbors do you think, you obviously having a problem with one of them maybe, but some, I haven't seen any letters of support at this point, but how many neighbors are affected by this?
These are the 3 neighbors that I know have sent letters because they sent them to me as well. I'm 99% sure the neighbor that complained is not, it's not even really, it's probably 3 houses down and then 1 over to the left. But I've had a ton of support from my neighbors. I didn't think to ask them for support until most recently, and Becca actually said it tonight. I should have done a better job of that. But there is, on my street, there's only 11 houses, and I'd say 4 of them have asked me for rides, and then the other ones have sent letters of recommendation or support. I'm sorry, for this.
So, and if I understand you don't come in over land, you come in directly over the lake to land?
Yes, sir. Okay. That's correct. I will get a better visual for you. You can see it right there in this picture. The red lot is my home, and in between the red dot and that second yellow circle is the landing pad.
The right or left?
Hey, there you go. Yeah, perfect.
I gotcha. So you have to come into that cove.
It's about 150 feet of shoreline total.
Gotcha. So how many people are in that cove?
Mr. Cowan, myself, and in the greens, which is in that below that yellow circle.
Okay.
I think I know the answer to this, but why not pursue a dock landing pad through Duke versus this pathway?
I did actually consider that. Duke Power only allows you to have 1 dock per property, and I would have to build another house on that dock and then get a permitted dock under the grandfather clause. So I did consider that, but it's not possible because of the amount of dock for linear footage that they allow.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, I think that concludes our hearing. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Item number 9B, conduct a public hearing on petition TA25-12, request by the Town of Huntersville Planning Department. Becca.
Thank you very much again, Mayor and Commissioners. This is text amendment 2512, which is amending Articles 4.9 and 8.16, primarily in regards to detached garages. The Town of Huntersville is the applicant for this. Article 4.9.3 currently states that a detached garage can only be located in the rear yard. This text amendment will add a reference to 8.16, which will allow detached garages in other yards with restrictions. We will get there. And then this next bullet point is just strictly a housekeeping thing. 4.9.7 states that the side yard setback is 12 feet in the rural zoning designation. There was a previously approved text amendment that amended Article 3.2.1 D2E to change that setback to 8 feet. It just was not caught in Article 4. So this is just a housekeeping thing to keep the setbacks in the rural designation consistent. And this is the ordinance to show where the changes will be. Article 8.16.7, it talks about attached and detached garages. So for attached garages, it currently states that garages for more than 2 cars must either be detached or located in the rear yard or rear loading if attached to the side. So this text amendment will remove that because local municipalities do not have the authority to amend attached features on a single-family home. Did I say that correct, Brian? Okay. Yeah. And then for detached garages, it only allows them to be placed in the rear yard. This will allow for detached garages to be placed in any yard as long as the lot is 5 acres or larger and the structure can't be seen from the road. So it is important to know that smaller lots and lots without proper screening will still be required to place the detached garages in the rear yard. This is for large lots with a lot of trees and screening. And this is what Article 8.16.7 would look like. The 2040 Community Plan does support this. Land Use Recommendation 8.1 states, continue to emphasize form and flexibility in development regulations, so staff believes this text amendment is consistent with the plan. And for all of this, staff does recommend approval of this text amendment. This will go before the Planning Board tomorrow, and then back before you for final action on December 16th. And with that, I'll take any questions you may have for me.
Any questions for staff? We have one public comment for this. I think Mr. Johnson. Would you like to speak? Come on up, Mr. Johnson. You have 3 minutes.
I just want to say, my name is Floyd Johnson, and I live with my wife Lauren, and we're the people who brought this issue up. We've sent a couple letters to you all about this. We were unsuccessful in getting a variance from the Board of Variance, so we found out about the text amendments, and that's why we pushed for this. I hope you all will approve it. I really think it's common sense. We're out of sight, out of mind. We're back here. Nobody can see us back where we're at. And if requiring a detached garage in our backyard tears our backyard up. And that does not conserve landscape that we're supposed to be doing in a transitional residential area. So I just hope you all approve it, and that's really all I have to say.
Mr. Johnson, thank you. All right, any other questions? All right, we'll conclude item number 9B. Item number 9C. A public hearing on petition TA25-11, a request by Northwood Raven to amend Articles 4.9 and 8.16.
Good evening, Board. We have text amendment 25-11 regarding garages and mechanical equipment. This was submitted by Northwood Raven. This text amendment seeks to achieve 2 goals. One is to revise requirements for attached garages, and another is to revise requirements for mechanical equipment for single-family detached homes specifically. So a little background about our current standards for accessory structures. So for any accessory structure, which is a structure that is subordinate to a primary structure, which includes detached garages, The total area of all accessory structures has to be less than the total heated area of the first floor of the home, located in the side or rear yard, and generally has to be a minimum setback of 5 feet from adjoining property lines. The last requirement is the most important for the purposes of this text amendment tonight. So in the example you'll see, if there were a single-family detached home on a lot, the detached garage would have to be in the rear yard, and it would have to be a minimum from the side yard and a minimum from the rear yard property lines. The proposed text amendment the current standards for an attached garage are a bit different. There is no size maximum and there's no location requirement because essentially once you attach the structure to the home, it becomes a part of the home. And it's regulated the same way that we would regulate the home. So it would be subject to the same setbacks as the home. So the attached garage would have to be a minimum from the rear yard property line, and if the home has to be a minimum of 5 feet from the side yard, so would the attached garage. So what this text amendment is seeking to do is change the requirements if you attach the garage to the rear of a single-family detached home. I'm happy to take questions. It's kind of a bit to keep up with, but essentially, if you attach the garage to the home, today it would have to be, in this specific situation, 25 feet from the rear yard property line. The applicant is requesting to change that so that the garage would only have to be a minimum of 5 feet from the rear yard property line. And so what they have proposed as conditions for this is that this would only be allowed for single-family detached homes that are accessed from an alley. So if a home's primary access was from the public street, they could not have this adjustment where you have a reduced setback for a garage. It would only be for single-family detached homes that have alley access. So today, most of the detached garages or attached garages, they're in the rear when you have alley access because the vehicles are traveling along the alley. And in this case, the applicant would like for there to essentially just be a reduced setback, but they want the garages attached to the homes. The second part of this text amendment, the applicant is requesting that mechanical equipment be allowed to encroach into the rear yard setbacks for single-family detached homes. Currently, Article 4.9 indicates that mechanical equipment shall not encroach into any required front or side, any required setback. And the language that's being proposed is that they are allowed to encroach into a rear yard setback. Staff, however, to make sure that we do not create a nonconformity, have added a little bit of language to say that this would only apply when you are proposing to encroach into a rear yard setback so that we don't essentially make everyone who has essentially HVAC equipment, because that's what this is going to be, HVAC equipment and pool equipment. That's typically what single-family homes have in terms of mechanical equipment, non-compliant. But if you have the mechanical equipment encroaching into the rear, you would need to screen it from view. And this would be screening from view from the public street or a publicly accessible alley at grade. So the current options for the placement of HVAC equipment or pool equipment would be outside of your minimum side yard setback or outside of your minimum rear yard setback. The applicant is essentially requesting option 3 here, where they could place the HVAC equipment in their minimum rear yard setback, but it would have to be screened from the alley or public street, which you're probably not going to see it from the public street if it's behind the home. Staff find that this proposed text amendment is consistent with sections for land use of the 2040 Plan 8.1 and 8.2. It allows flexibility with the placement of attached garages And the heightened requirement for screening of the HVAC equipment would also be a higher level of design that we do not currently require. This will be going to Planning Board tomorrow and back for final action December 16th. Happy to take any questions at this time.
Can you go back, I don't know, 3 slides? Sure. You knew you were going to lose me, right? So is this because of lot sizes they're trying to build on? I guess I'm, like, so the relief from the side yard will never happen, right? They have to be a minimum of 5 feet, right? Always? So the 20 feet to the 25 feet in the back, I guess, so is it because we require 25 feet and they're going to build it closer to the alley, and that's why they're trying to get the 5 feet of relief?
That is correct.
Okay. And then back a few more slides with the detached, or the garages. So that,
This one?
yeah, probably. So is this the same situation? They're just building on smaller lots, so they don't meet the setback requirements? Is that what I'm trying to understand?
This is the applicant's proposed lot design, and they want to ensure that it is compliant. So they are proposing a text amendment for your consideration so that they are compliant.
Okay. Thanks.
Commissioner Bergson? And just one question for you. The mechanical equipment, are we just talking HVAC systems or possible pool equipment? Or can you just give more information on what that means?
Sure. So we don't further delineate mechanical equipment in our regulations to say that any specific type is treated differently. So it will be any type of mechanical equipment, and what we generally see for single-family homes are pool equipment and HVAC equipment. But generally, it's going to be permanently located mechanical equipment. So if someone has those blow-up balloon house things for children, yes, the bounce houses, it wouldn't be that necessarily. It would be some permanent mechanical equipment.
Other than pool and HVAC, what other permanent equipment would a household have?
Gas main equipment.
Gas main, okay. Oh, and then maybe like electrical box type thing? Okay. That's it. Any other questions?
So all that, if they were less than the 25 feet, the 20 feet has to be screened? Is that what you were saying?
In their proposal, yes. It's if it's within the 25-foot setback, it would need to be screened. But if it is outside of the minimum 25-foot setback, then it would not need to be screened.
Okay, so they're asking for less, but they want to screen it?
That's
No?
correct.
Okay, gotcha, thanks.
And then the breezeway, that is a new addition, because we don't have breezeways in our current
Sure.
single family.
Today, you're allowed to have a breezeway. However, as a part of this text amendment, because the applicant is proposing to attach a subordinate structure, a maximum length for that breezeway is included for this specific use.
Okay, thank you. It's a little confusing, I'm not going to lie. There's lots of little elements in here. All right, thank you, I appreciate that. Any other questions for staff? All right, concludes our hearing, thank you. Item number 9D, conduct a public hearing to abandon a portion of Hager's Road.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. Robert. I'm here to present on the abandonment of a portion of Hager's Road. So the town's right-of-way abandonment process follows the North Carolina statute for procedures to permanently close streets and alleys. So what that means is the petitioner first will submit their petition to abandon a portion of the road with a survey. then town staff will prepare a staff report, which I'd like to submit for the record. And staff reviews the survey and calls a public hearing declaring intent to close. And then the final step would be we put up 2 physical signs at the location so that residents can see what time the hearing is, where the hearing is, and it's also published in the paper. So where is Hager's Road? If you look on the left side, 115 Hager's Road is just east and it's off of McCord Road. McCord is south of 73. So zooming in on the right, that red line there, that is approximately 150 feet long, and it's that area there that is being abandoned. So why are we abandoning it? Well, up till a few years ago, Hager's Road actually intersect McCord Road at a skew over here, if you see on the left. Because of 2 different developments that came into the area, DOT required them to do some road improvements on McCord. And what came up was a roundabout. And so that's what NCDOT approved, and that's what you see on the right-hand side is the roundabout. Now, this roundabout realigned that intersection, and Hager's Road, this portion of it, no longer intersects at McCord Road. So the area that I'm talking about is here in the red hatched. The abutting parcels to the, kind of like to the left and to the right, they're both owned by the same homeowner. And in the end, he wants to recombine it all into one lot. So here is a picture of the survey showing the area that was a road that is no longer in use. That typically half would go to one homeowner or property owner, half would go to the other. Since this is all one homeowner, they'll just recombine the whole thing. So the area of this red is 8,400 square feet, which is approximately 0.92 acres. I'd like to point out that there's no driveways that are closed because of this, or no parcels that would lose any access to any public streets. And my final slide is just the location of the notice, which is the signs. I give you the date and time of the hearing, and there's one placed on either end of the abandonment. So that's all I have, and I'll welcome any questions.
Any questions? All right, thank you. Don't go anywhere.
No, I think we have a speaker.
We do have a speaker? Oh, yes, we do. Emily Outing. Ms. Outing, you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Good evening. I'm Emily Outing. My husband and I own the house that's directly in front of this property. And the reason it's abandoned is because when Spring Grove was being proposed and brought to the board, maybe not you all, maybe the previous board, and I'm sorry, I'm nervous, but this property came about because you realigned the street and you wanted to come across my property and my neighbor's property to build Spring Grove, and we said no. So because the plan was already approved, you all made this change in the street and caused this abandonment in front of my house, and caused me to have to enter one address. One entrance of my driveway is on Siegel, which is the new street, and now Hager's is still my original back driveway. I have 2 entrances to my property. So now one entrance is on Siegel and the other is on Hager's because of this abandonment. We don't really want the property. It's being maintained by Huntersville now. So we're trying to figure out if it's abandoned, what's gonna happen to it. It's just gonna be out, nobody's taking care of it. It's outside of our property line. It was in our property line before you all wanted that right away for building Spring Grove. So now it's just affected me more than anyone else on Hagers. I'm the only house, well, my neighbor, we're the only two that had two Hagers, but then part of Siegel's is now on the front of our house. So if you change this abandonment, put this abandonment, are you getting ready to change my address to Siegel's? Or are you gonna leave it as Hagers? My mailbox is still on Hagers. My neighbor has to go to a cluster box on a dirt road, which has always been the case. It's farther down, but there's a lot involved with this, and I just need to know how's this gonna affect me and my property value? Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Walsh?
The abandonment would go to these folks over here, the property?
The applicant is actually Mr. Hager. I think that's just, I don't know if that's a fluke or if they named it after a family. I'm not completely sure which side. I believe the speaker was talking about further south, but I can't confirm that. I was just trying to check, but I'm not sure.
Can we figure that out? I mean,
Yeah, hold on, Nick, I'm trying to find it.
yeah,
So that area I was showing goes to the property owner of that red house, which is William Hager. He also owns this, I can draw on this, right?
Yep.
He owns this piece.
and we've talked to Mr. Hager about this?
Yes, he's the applicant, Mr. Hager.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It's going to recombine the parcels so that he will have one large parcel and maintain the entire thing.
Okay,
And that makes him a conforming parcel. The two by themselves, they're just too small, according to planning.
So Laura, are they the property that we talked about earlier?
I'm not sure,
Okay,
possibly.
I didn't hear the last name. Outing? Yeah, that's a different property not affected by tonight.
okay, that's what I just want to make sure. Okay, I'm good.
That is further south.
I got you. Okay, thank you.
Two houses down from this.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Any other questions?
Just one. So can we be 100% clear that the Mr. and Mrs. Outing, their mailbox and on Hager's, that location is not impacted?
So this property right here is the property of the speaker.
Oh, okay.
He marked the
Let me
property
see if
that's
I
in
have-
pink, I believe.
Let me see
Well,
if I have another picture. Okay, here we go. Can you clear the screen for me? Thank you. This parcel right here, this is one driveway to Siegel, and this is another driveway to Hager's. I believe that is their parcel.
Okay. So, and we're not
We're not abandoning that section.
abandoning that part in front. Our part
This
is way
area
up
is
here.
not in question today.
Yes, okay.
That would have to come, if we choose to do that, we would have to come back to the board in the same process that we're doing now. We would work with the property owners. They may not want it, you heard tonight, unless they get more information, and then we would bring that back at a later date. But that has nothing to do with tonight.
Our
Okay,
process
thank
is
you. I just,
petition-based, so the homeowner would petition to us.
gotcha. Okay.
Okay. All right, so the outings are not impacted by this in any way, shape, or form. Okay, just making sure everybody knows that. Okay, thank you. All right, now we may proceed to item 10A, which is consider decision to adopt order to abandon portion of Hager's Road.
Yes. So I'm back here, I'm still here, asking for you to adopt the abandonment of the portion we were talking about closer to McCord Road.
Any other questions? Is there a motion?
I make a motion to adopt the order to abandon a portion of Hager's Road as described in Exhibit A.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion?
Just for clarity, this is not going to affect the Audis.
It's not that parcel.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Item number 10B, thank you, Ms. Francesco, Master Francesco. Consider appointing a primary and alternate member to Mecklenburg Public Transportation, Mr. Roberts.
As probably most folks know by now, there was a PAVE Act that legislators passed that authorized Mecklenburg County to put on the ballot an additional sales tax related to transportation. As part of that, during this latest election that passed, that additional sales tax, as part of the PAVE Act, if that passed, they were to create an authority, which was the MPTA, the Mecklenburg Public Transportation Authority. That authority would ultimately take over the roles of the MTC, which is the Metropolitan Transit Commission. So the MTC will phase out. This authority will basically, they will overlap, and authority would ultimately take over the assets of Charlotte Area Transportation System. And as part of this act, there will be 27 members. The town of Huntersville is allowed to appoint one member. I'll say one member, two members, one as a primary and one as an alternate. And before you tonight, you should have 9 applications with resumes to go along with that. And we're asking the board to consider making a primary appointment and an alternate appointment.
Commissioner Rivers, I'm going to start with you for your nominations for the primary and the alternate.
I would like to appoint or make the
Nominate.
Mr. T. Anthony Lindsay as my primary selection. And for the alternate, I would like to nominate Michael Foss.
Commissioner Walsh,
Anthony Lindsay and Michael Foss as the alternate.
Commissioner Hunt,
Anthony Lindsay as the primary and Michael Foss as the alternate.
Commissioner Quarles,
T. Anthony Lindsay and Michael Foss.
Commissioner Bergsman.
Sure, before I make my nominations, I just wanted to give some insight into my process when I was looking at this, and because we have a lot of qualified applicants that applied. And one thing that was really important to me is both experience using our public transport. And I noticed that in a few of the applications. So my nominations are Richard Jones and Louis Cosentine.
So is Richard Jones your primary?
Yep.
Okay, and then Louis Constantine is your alternate. Okay, so we have a majority of nominations for T. Anthony Lindsay and Michael Foes. And so can I get a motion to appoint T. Anthony Lindsay as the primary to the Mecklenburg Public Transportation Authority and Michael Foes as the alternate?
I make a motion to appoint T. Anthony Lindsay as the primary member and Michael Foss as the alternate member to the Mecklenburg Public Transportation Authority.
And is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. So Commissioner Rivers, Walsh, Hunt, and Quarles. And any opposed? Commissioner Bergsman. The motion carries. Thank you for volunteering, folks. Right, item number 10C, consider appointing one member to the Mecklenburg County Agricultural Advisory Board.
Yes, you kind of said it there. Recently, Mecklenburg County adopted a voluntary agricultural district and an enhanced voluntary agricultural district. The motion before you is to appoint one member from the town's side of things to that advisory board. We do anticipate there may be some other county agricultural users that apply for the at-large seats the county will be filling as well. Happy to take any questions. I believe we got one application.
Yeah, we have one applicant, Jessica Horton. Commissioner Rivers, may I have your nomination?
Jessica Horton.
Commissioner Walsh?
Jessica Horton.
Commissioner Hunt?
Same.
Commissioner Quarles?
Same.
Commissioner Bergsman?
Jessica Horton.
All right. Is there a motion to appoint Jessica Horton to the Mecklenburg County Agricultural Advisory Board?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Jessica Horton to the Mecklenburg County Agricultural Advisory Board.
And is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? And the motion carries unanimously. Item number 10D, consider appointing one member to the Environmental Sustainability Committee.
Yeah, so Jeremy Shook recently resigned from the Environmental Sustainability Committee. This is a motion to appoint someone to fill his seat, and that seat, well, the term for that seat would run through March 2028.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Rivers, may I have your nomination?
I nominate Henna Thornburg.
All right. Commissioner Walsh,
Heiner Dornberg.
Commissioner Hunt,
Heiner Dornberg.
Commissioner Quarles,
Heiner Dornberg.
Commissioner Bergsman.
Heather Ayers.
All right, the majority of the nominations are for Heiner Dornberg, and so I may have a motion to appoint Heiner Dornberg to the Environmental Sustainability Committee.
I make a motion to appoint Heiner Dornberg to the Environmental Sustainability Committee for the remainder of the unexpired term.
And is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Commissioner Quarles, Commissioner Hunt, Commissioner Walsh, and Commissioner Rivers in favor. All those opposed? Commissioner Bergsman. All right. And now to the amended item number 10E, approve CRTPO package submittal and CIP amendment. Mr. Trott.
Yes, good evening. Just wanted to update the request. What was in the draft packet was the incorrect draft version of the resolution. So if we have, that was submitted to have up here.
We don't have the slide?
No slide, Stephen, you know the numbers? Oh, we do have a slide?
Yeah, one was in the presentations folder.
Okay.
Should be probably a PDF in the presentations folder. Yes, ma'am.
Thought I was going to have to, draw it out or something.
It's okay. We do it the old way and put it on an overhead if you like. If you remember those. So I guess while that's being brought up, the application is to apply for the remaining portion of funds. Last year, the town applied for funds towards the Irvin Cook or Oliver Hager extension project through CRTPO to get funds. Only a portion of the requested funds were allocated from CRTPO. And this would ask for the remaining, this is the old application. The correct application is asking for $3.206 and $855 to CRTPO. Is that? Yep. I'll say yes. Keep scrolling down. I'm sorry. Yep. There we go. Yep. Yeah. This is the updated one. So we're requesting $3,206,855 for the remaining portion of the project from CRTPO.
You have any questions?
So I know we're asking for remaining. Can you just kind of explain the process of what happened in the beginning in regards to why were we only, I guess, selected to receive just a portion?
Sure. So the CRTPO puts out a call for projects. They've moved that to an annual call. So once a year, they ask for any municipality in the CRTPO area to submit, if they like, for eligible funds for projects. So last year, the town submitted, along with many other municipalities, for projects. There's a limited pot of money to be awarded, and all the projects are scored and ranked. And so what they typically do is they score each project and then go from the highest scoring project, allocate money, and then go down the list. They ran out of money before they got to the bottom of the list and asked would the town take some rather than none? And so it was, sure, if you want to give us some, that's better than zero. So we said yes, and they said, you're eligible to come back next year and ask for the rest. And so that's, in this case, what's happened. That has not happened on other applications in the past. It's either been all yes or all no in the past. This is the first time that's happened.
And usually when you get a piece, you have a really good chance of coming back the second time around. So we took the small piece in hopes that we were able to come back the second time around, and we were.
Yeah, and I'll just share too, it sounds like this time, there's more dollars available than there were applications. So it sounds like we have a pretty good chance of getting the remaining portion this time. You're welcome.
Any other questions? And the Transportation Committee met to discuss this in the past, to ask for the engineering funding, and then now we're getting our second bite at the apple for the funding to finish the project, which we had hoped for when we asked for engineering. We weren't sure, but here we are getting to do it, so that's good news. All right, no other questions? All right, is there a motion for item number 10E, approve CRT package and submittal?
I make a motion to approve the CRTPO package submittal and CIP amendment for the Irvin Cook Road, formerly Oliver Hager Road, extension and roundabout, along with the extension of South Birkdale Commons Parkway project.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? And the motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Chop.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, closing comments. Commissioner Bergman.
Sure. Just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving coming up next week. And a reminder, as the holiday season approaches, there are lots of folks in our community going through some difficult times so reminder to support our local nonprofits.
Commissioner Quarles.
I have two things. First, I want to congratulate Commissioner-elect Heather Smallwood and Commissioner-elect Scott Cornett. Welcome. Look forward to working with you for the next 2 years. Heather, I'm going to enjoy having you sitting beside me to my right. And another one is nominate a Lake Norman hometown hero. Do you know someone who always goes above and beyond with no expectations of anything in return? Would you like to see their good deeds recognized and celebrated? The McIntosh Law Firm Lake Norman Hometown Hero Program honors local residents who give of themselves for others. Often these individuals work behind the scenes and go unrecognized for their talents and gifts. We want to honor people who are passionate about making a positive change for the Lake Norman community and its residents. Over the next several weeks, the firm will be taking nominations on our website for Hometown Heroes. So if you know someone who go above and beyond and don't want anything in return, please go to the McIntosh Law Firm website and nominate someone. And the rewards for that will be a nonprofit organization will receive a donation from the firm in that person's name.
Commissioner Hunt. Commissioner Walsh. Commissioner Rivers.
Well, I'm shocked. Mayor Pro Tem Hunt did not announce this, but on Saturday, the 22nd, there will be a cleanup with the Environmental Sustainability Committee in the Pottstown community beginning at 9 o'clock. Is that correct? Is it from 9 to 8 o'clock? I would have been an hour late. So 8 o'clock, 8 to 12, and they are going to assist with cleaning the stream. And that is truly important in the Pottstown community and to the Pottstown residents, as this has been one of our main concerns with ensuring that our environment is safe and clean. Also, I want to say it's a lot of things going on, heavy times. Let's just be kind. It doesn't hurt to be kind to each other, regardless of our differing opinions and thoughts. Be kind and have a happy holiday. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and welcome Commissioners-elect Heather Smallwood and Scott Cornett to the board. We're going to have a great 2 years, and so look forward to serving with you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I would like to make the motion that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
And is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.